outlast Conor Shanahan. Back in a new chassis, a new start. They had a lot of trouble with it. They've been developing it. And he said himself, he's got a lot of things to think about. Very different than his other car. But right now, Wiecek throws into that first one. Look at that angle. Oh, a little bit of understeer and back on lock. How did he hold that? That's incredible from Wiecek. He actually lost the car and gained it within a split second to rescue that back again. And Wiecek goes back out. Look at that little left foot braking. Very good. So just late to the transition there from Wiecek as he gets to the edge of the circuit. But that was very exciting to watch as Piotr Wiecek takes it across the line. You could see the front wheel on the first corner. It looked like he was going to lose that car. And how he held it, that is mastercraft. He wants to be in the top four. He's in 13th position right now. Let's see what happens. Again, a lot of fans, Piotr Wiecek will say the switch to the new chassis is going to take time. But he doesn't want it to take time. He wants it to be straight off the bat. Let's see if it is.
But he's gone for it. He's gone for a big one. And he knocked up the front wheel as well on initiation. He's on that throttle nice and early. And it looks like Wiecek's going to make this one work as he goes nice and wide for the outside zone. He is correcting the steering, though. And the judges won't like that. He dialed on the angle. Can he make it work? He can. Transitions through that inner zone as he fires now into that final outside zone. And Wiecek looks like he's making this Supra work. And it looks like he's feeling comfortable on every single turn of the wheel as Wiecek takes it across the line. And Piotr Wiecek looking more and more comfortable, Dave, every single time he sits in that seat.
Well, the one thing you don't have to question is the talent. No. Because the talent's there. Proved, done it, won the championship multiple times.
Yeah.
And this, he might look across and say, he's not so used to the Supra. He's had a couple issues this weekend. Is this my moment? This one's going to be interesting.
It certainly is, as we see Piotr Wiecek fire in that brand new Toyota Supra. Max Heidrich shallows up the angle, waits for Wiecek to dial himself in. Wiecek goes super wide. Heidrich on a better line than Wiecek, as Wiecek wobbles on that zone, takes down the cone, and look at Max Heidrich hanging back maybe, trying to keep it clean, as he now dives through that inner zone. Max Heidrich makes a mistake. He goes super wide, almost drops a wheel in the gravel as Heidrich and Wiecek struggle in the outside zone across the line.
Oh, there's about 500 things happening there at the one time in that battle. There's big mistakes from both drivers, and I think Max Heidrich here, well, that's Heidrich's chance. Wiecek's got to be on the door. He has to be on the door the whole way around.
It has to be, but this lead run could be the answer that we need right now. Goes super wide, dials on big angle, and now Max Heidrich looks for that inside zone. Wiecek gets lost in the smoke, and he straightens once again. Wiecek all over the show. He just can't seem to get himself into the groove this weekend. Heidrich disposes of the rear bumper on this Nissan 200SX as he fires into that final outside zone. Wiecek is lost in a cloud of smoke as Max Heidrich absolutely flies away for that final outside zone.
Yeah, there's something definitely up with Wiecek's car. There's definitely determined to make this the beast. This is the Supra of Piotr Wiecek, and he is looking very determined, and he knows himself that this is his. He had a great start of the year, had some issues, had an engine failure, and now he's got to come back to Ireland and take what he's done last year, top step. Pressing buttons on the dash coming down the straight is Piotr Wiecek as he fires in.
Yeah, look at this, dial from Wiecek. Look at the front wheels, absolutely locked as he comes through that inner zone. He's on form right now as Wiecek dials on the angle in outside zone 3. Looks back, across now, finds himself into the outside zone, dab at the foot brake just to push the back end deeper in that zone now as it's full wet, no messing around. Wiecek looks for the wall, puts the back end of the Supra into that zone, right to the edge of the circuit. Wiecek not messing around, dab at the foot brake once again. Wiecek absolutely dominating.
Yeah, Wiecek's in the game now. He came back to do it one more time. Three-time champion of Drift Masters. He was two-time back-to-back. He's in the Supra. It looks incredible. He's driving incredibly. Got a 90.5 on his first run. Nothing to lose, but trying to get into that top 4 now for Wiecek.
Yeah, and he'll want to contest James Dean at the top there. What can he do? Big flick initiation for Piotr Wiecek right now as he fires in this brand new A90 Supra, looking absolutely dialed on circuit as he works his way across the track. This is nice from Wiecek right now. He needs to add a little flair to this, though. He needs a little excitement. He needs to get the judges asking the question, is this the best run of the day? As he absolutely calculated. Will he put it to the wall? Of course he'll put it to the wall. As Wiecek goes right to the edge of the circuit, he's going to go for the wall. That's the foot brake. Absolutely textbook from Wiecek.
Going to have
redemption. He'll want to get a top step on the podium, and he has to go through our three-time champion to get there. And look at Wiecek, he's dialed, he's in focus, he wants it, he's hungry for it. But look at Cherba straight onto the back bumper, no messing around. Cherba goes deep on the inside. Oh! And Wiecek goes wide and leads them both off circuit, and that puts Cherba into a spin. And how?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. Wiecek finishes the run but goes off circuit. Cherba is on the circuit. Neither run competed, and we said it would be a fight. They didn't even make it through the first corner. looked to me like Wiecek went off, Czerba
into gear, and Czerba gets the green light to go. And now look at this, as Wiecek gets a nice long run in. He wants to be right up close and personal as Czerba flicks the car across the circuit. Nice initiation from both guys. And here comes Wiecek. Wiecek into the door, but now Czerba leads them both off track. Czerba takes them both off circuit, but they keep in it. As Czerba goes deep into outside zone 4, Wiecek has to think about it, get himself back into the fight as they fire along the wall in front of the grandstand. Czerba nails it. Wiecek almost comes in backwards as they bring it across the line.
No. Lead Czerba in over the hill.
Yeah, here they come through the chicane, goes Benedictus Czerba through the gears, comes Wiecek as now Czerba looks for the back bumper. He wants to go close, and he goes close, almost takes the back end of Wiecek's brand new Toyota Supra, and he transitions back again. Whoa! And he puts big angle on. How did he hold on to that? It looked like he was going to spin. Wiecek keeps this one absolutely dialed, and now Czerba back into the fight once again. A big push onto the door as they go to the wall. Czerba pushing Wiecek across the line.
That is top level. Because these guys are not backing down. He even takes down the start line cone. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go through the gears. They go, and look at this. Wiecek goes for a big swing in as Czerba fires in, and now, Wiecek takes the back end of Czerba's BMW on the outside zone 3. That was insane, and they keep in it. Body panels flying everywhere as Czerba puts the hammer to the floor, tries to drive away from Wiecek, gets the ball run nailed. Czerba goes wider than anyone, but Wiecek's on the door, pushing Czerba.
Oh, that's unbelievable. That has to be two of the most exciting runs I've ever seen in Mondello Park.
That's for Jack Shanahan. He had that upset at round 1, so did Wiecek, but Shanahan is desperate for the championship. He watched his brother take the crown last year, and he wants it for himself. They're off the line and through the gears, down over the hill they come as Shanahan pace matches Wiecek as Wiecek absolutely flicks that car across the circuit, locks up the front brake, and he's on a blinder of a lead line so far. Shanahan looks for the side. They both get into outside zone 4, but Shanahan just doesn't seem to be up on the door as what we'd like to see. But this is incredible for Wiecek as he puts the back end of the Supra to the wall. Shanahan needs to do a dive, and he does across the line.
Shanahan gets back in the game. Go through an entire set of tires in just two runs of this track. Shanahan is now in the lead position. Wiecek hunting him down as they come through the gears. Up to 4th gear and a flick on in as Wiecek starts to try and reel in Shanahan in good proximity, but Wiecek makes a big mistake. Wiecek goes off the track and Shanahan stays on the track. And that was the knife edge, but Shanahan is in the lead position. This is tit for tat right now as they go to the wall. Wiecek tries to climb back into the battle, and it's all up in the air as they go across the line, door to door. You can't take your eyes off it. Supra, and he had some issues in practice, but when he was working, he was looking excellent. And Peter's got a lot of experience. He is 3-time European champion, and he's got to make every bit of that work now as he fires into that first corner. Really nice and wide. Wiecek going for that wall. Look at that from Wiecek. That's absolute perfection through that first corner. Doesn't bounce off the wall, but then he catches a huge amount of slippery concrete there, and he loses the back end of it. Oh, and he's in the wall heavy, and I think he's broken the wheel. The wheel is broken on the back of the car, and he's going to have to try and do this with one wheel not facing the correct. Look at that rear wheel is bent, and that arm is bent. How is he making this work?
Wow.
Wiecek still puts in a run. Wow. That car a little too hard, but to be fair, the conditions were horrendous. Now the conditions are perfect, and you're going to see what Wiecek's bringing to the table as he fires in. Very late initiation and very wide to the wall, and he's in there, in that outer zone. He's buried in that outer zone, and he's very fast too. Little left foot braking. Wiecek firing through the course at incredible pace here as he goes back out to the wall. A little more tentative this time, but I won't blame him after what happened the last time. And this is big angle and big speed from Piotr Wiecek as he looks dialed, cool, controlled, and back in business. Oh! And a big something shut off in the car through the last corner. You can see the hands up, and he is not happy at all. The best drivers to ever be produced in Europe, but he struggled this year. The car has been working against him. Stupid problems, but when it works, he definitely can work it. And Wiecek's ready for another big run at Riga. He's top qualifying 3 times in the last 6 years. What can he do here?
Yeah, well, the Candyman's going to go for it. Puts the rear wheels of that Supra into the outside zone, carrying a lot of speed. Oh, that was a gangster flick from Wiecek as he comes down now in front of the commentary tower, fires that Supra back across the circuit. Again, look at the front end dip as he gets on the foot brake. Another driver that puts it into the outside zone, nice and early. The experience from Wiecek as he puts it back into the wall and across the line. Another textbook run.
That is a huge one. That is a fact in the S15. But I think this 95 is the highest score he's got so far in the Supra.
It is, yeah, you're right.
But could he go higher? Could he go up to 99 or 98 or 100? I don't know what that looks like. So that would have to be a scary thing to watch. Let's see what happens. Comes off the line. Piotr Wiecek in the Toyota Supra. Can he go even higher? Can he beat Laurie Heinen?
Oh, well, he's gone early. He's gone early and he's going faster than he did before, and he's right to the edge of the circuit. Look at that wheel on the white line as he puts the wheel to the curb now. As Wiecek says, I can go higher. Oh my God, it didn't even make sense. He was 90 degrees to both curbs as he now puts the car into the outside zone. Piotr Wiecek is on another level this year. He's on another level right now as he finishes an incredible run.
Machines head to that first corner. Wiecek slots it into gear, ready to go. Sherba's in gear, ready to go. And the top 32, action begins here.
Yeah, here we go, through the gears, down through that chicane, and to Sherba, sliding that car through the gears. He's still running fine. They come down, that treacherous moment. Look at Sherba. He's keeping it very clever here. He's playing a smart game. Oh, almost takes a back bumper off the back end of that Supra, but he loses a little ground. As Wiecek swings it left to right, tags the wall. Sherba opens the door and takes a step in, and Wiecek takes him across the line. He's going to be feeling more and more confident now. Every turn of the track he gets as they come off the line. Sherba to lead out Wiecek for a spot in the top 16 away. It's a big clutch kick from Sherba as he flips that car in, but look at Wiecek tucked up on the rear wheel, and Sherba drops down the inside and upsets the line from Wiecek now. They come down in front of the tower as he fires it right across the circuit. Some ground opens up and Wiecek uses that slingshot, that moment of momentum to get himself back into the fight as he now glues it to the rear wheel of the BMW of the Sherba fighter. Up onto the wall goes Sherba and across the line.
He wants to get that Supra back on the podium. He hasn't done it this year. Could he do it here? We are up and we are away and we are through the gears.
Yeah, top 16 kicks off right here as Wiecek fires that car across the circuit to outside zone 1. But look at Tomas Kylie. He won't go down without a fight. He'll want to stick it to the former champion as they transition down in front of the grandstands. And Kylie, lost in the smoke, transitions a little shallow. Wiecek goes nice and wide and flicks that car into the outside zone. Big angle from Wiecek, and it opens the door for Tomas Kylie. Jumps onto the front wheel and across the line.
That's a phenomenal chase run and lead run from both of those guys. As you said, a little drop off from Tomas Kylie, but Wiecek does get the car cool, and we are given the green light. Good to go. Kylie through the gears, and Wiecek right on his tail. He's pulling gears and making sure that he's right there on initiation. This is a scary part as they fire through. Kylie drops a little bit outside of the zone. He's back in it again. Wiecek on the inside. Late transition from Wiecek. I can't even see him, but he's got caught in the smoke and he's DB'd him. He's lost his rear tire. He's in the wall.
Oh, he's out
of the wall. He got up in the curb, but he's definitely lost his rear tire. It looks to me like Wiecek's lost his rear tire. That's a DB from Piotr Wiecek, and he's out of competition here. I could see it immediately as he transitioned, running such low tire pressures, and that is another heartbreaking moment for Piotr Wiecek. So here we go, three-time European champ in the Supra. Has had an up and down season so far, but he did top qualifying in Riga. Can he top it here again?
Well, there we go, through the gears down, flicks that Supra across the track, nice and early. Look at that, really high, dab of the foot brake to push the car right where it needs to be, right to the edge of the circuit. And look at the smoke trail, hardly any braking, hardly any lifting from Wiecek as he goes to the outside zone. Oh, once again, this is another beautiful run, another driver that's absolutely on it this weekend as Wiecek gets the job done.
Qualifying here in Hungary, but he's only 1 point off. He's actually 0.5 off Kuba Puszkanski. Can Wiecek go top and get back in the showdown?
Well, he's going to go for it, that's for sure, Dave. Fires that Supra right to the edge of the circuit, keeps it clean. Look at the line from Wiecek. Oh, it goes nice and wide. Looks for the transition. It's very fluid. And look at that little dab of the handbrake back on throttle. Once again, buried into the wall is Wiecek as he keeps that car right to the edge of the circuit. Flirts with danger on that wall. Wiecek's on a flyer and he's wider and he picks it up across the line. And it is go Wiecek to lead out Kalle Rovanperä for the first battle in our qualifying showdown. Here we go. Wiecek fires it in. Oh, Rovanperä way on the inside. Loses lots of ground already as Wiecek now starts to lay down that 97 qualifying run as he puts a back bumper to the wall. Rovanperä nowhere in this fight. Wiecek sticks it to the wall once again, fires through, looks for that final outside zone and across the line and shows Rovanperä who he's really up against.
He might have the same problem as Rovanperä, diving to the inside here because the car just wants to shoot forward. Let's see, it's a nice little tester for tomorrow here.
Yeah, look at the bright lights in the front of Rovanperä's car. They are so bright, it's unbelievable. Now, Rovanperä starts to lead them out, dials on the angle, but there's no shaking Wiecek. He looks through the smoke down onto the side as Kalle Rovanperä goes for the wall. Wiecek looks for the door, parks himself right up on the inside. They transition, it was dangerous from Wiecek. He couldn't see where he was going. They fire through the smoke across the line.
I'll tell you what, that was a little flat run to the line. Wiecek in the lead, going through the gears, and Puszczonski starting to chew up at that back bumper as they come into that first corner. Look at this, Puszczonski losing a bit of ground. Look at the speed of Wiecek as he fires to the wall. Now Puszczonski takes a late dive, brave dive as he goes up onto the door of Piotr Wiecek. And Puszczonski's coming for it now. Doesn't want to back down against Wiecek as the late transition works. But look at Peter, he's so fast as Puszczonski cannot catch Piotr Wiecek across the line.
Yeah, look at that little dab on the foot brake from Wiecek, and he gets onto it now, gets onto the rear wheel, onto the door he goes, he's pushing Puszczonski around the circuit, goes up the inside, contact as Wiecek puts his front wheel to the rear wheel of Puszczonski's GR86. Now they go wheel to wheel. Oh, Wiecek absolutely playing with danger as he doors Puszczonski across the line. Which means that today the track conditions probably even more perfect for these guys. They come off the line through the gears. Wiecek leads out, Spossop, nice initiation. Peter gets that car right where it needs to be, falls into position as Spossop now lets him do his work and then waits for a dive. They fire down into the outside zone as Peter gets himself right where he needs to be. But look at Spossop now starting to pull some ground on Wiecek, goes for the transition as Peter looks for that final outside zone and across the line.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those battles where he hits a
onto the door and just control that aggression, that management is what he needs to do. They come through the gears now, Spossop to lead in Wiecek, they fire through the gears, onto the back bumper goes Wiecek, he looks for the side of that X15. And Spossop now gives him that perfect lead line through. They come down to this outside zone, onto the wall. Wiecek giving him the room, no major errors, no too much aggression. Now he goes for that early transition, that signature move of Wiecek as he now gets onto the door across the line.
That's incredible precision there from Peter. Had a poor season by their standards, but could turn it all around tonight.
They certainly can, Dave, and Conor Shanahan, I think he's starting to believe, I think he's starting to realise that this could be the weekend, this could be the end of the season he wanted. Well, here we go, through the gears they go, Wiecek fires in, Shanahan looks for it, now they come down and go to the outside zone too. Big transition, big flick, but look at Shanahan right on the back bumper, looks for it, opens the door up to Shanahan as he wants to take a step in, but can't, as Wiecek now fires it across the circuit, looks for that final outside zone, now Shanahan goes for the door.
That's a big lead and a big chase there, that perfect lead run. Well, there's no time like the present. He's got to do it now because he's not going to have any inch given from Wiecek as they come into this first corner.
No, exactly that. Here we go, through the gears, down, and look at that from Wiecek, right onto the back bumper, onto the rear wheel. He's already started to push Shanahan around the circuit, goes for that transition. Shanahan's on a flyer though, but that's opened the door. Look at Wiecek right into the groove, onto the door, all the way up the corner he goes. He loses some ground though, has to back out of it. Shanahan pulls some distance as he looks for that final outside zone. Wiecek right on the rear wheel.
As they come off the line, this is for a spot again in the top 8. Wiecek to lead in Jack Shanahan.
Yeah, through the gears they go down. A big initiation from Wiecek this time as he puts that car right where it needs to be, a cleaner lead. Oh, he tags the wall! Tags the wall! Does Wiecek, stays in it, but he upsets the line massively. Jack had to back out of it, gets himself back into it. They fall back into formation, back into the groove. But that was a big impact in the wall for Piotr Wiecek.
Oh, didn't see that coming. Wiecek's been
He was so wide.
on rails all weekend, but the thing is, Wiecek does have a 0 from an opposite drift on the first run, but now it's on the second run. Anything can happen here in Hungary. Wiecek fires and he's angry now, Wiecek, and he's going very wide again, almost goes in the wall. Look at the chase run from Wiecek. Oh my goodness, what a transition onto the door. Jack Shanahan, he's bullying him around the track here because he needs him to make a mistake. Shanahan just has to hold it together. It's absolutely outrageous from Piotr Wiecek there. That is an angry drive, which was also a pretty dangerous one. Very much a key player in the drift scene in Europe and making these things happen, but he wants to be top qualifier like he was in Hungary. Can he get it done in the first run?
Well, there we go, he flicks that A90 Super across as Wiecek now gets himself into this first outside zone. Look at the precision from the Polishman, absolutely textbook. As now Wiecek fires through, looks for that front bumper on the wall. It's beautiful from Wiecek as he now looks for this outside zone, gets it done, gets in there. Can he stay in there? A little dab of the foot brake, very clever use of the brake from Wiecek as he now comes through the centre of the circuit into that touch and go. Nice transition, he's gone a little wide, but can he make it work? He certainly can. Oh, flirts with danger, shallows up the angle, then dials it back in as Wiecek's throwing everything he has to his ability at this one.
Oh, I think he frightened us, himself, the fans, his spotter, his team.
He want to upset the apple cart, so he knows if he can get into that top 4 and get into that qualifying showdown, he could do a little bit of an upset here, and here we go. He flicks the car from left to right, right to the edge of the circuit. He goes into the outside zone. And look at this from Wiecek as he gets right to the edge of the outside zone. Now picks up that inner zone, comes through, nice line, picks up that inner zone, nice transition back on the handbrake, slows that car down perfectly into this long outside zone, just dabbing the foot brake, not doing too much, not flexing the back end off the wall, just into the zone where the judges want to see it, into that touch and go right to the edge of the circuit. Creates a perfect arc as he looks for this outside zone and a big wobble. That's the only mistake we can see as he gets to that second to last outside zone. Into the final one he goes, flexes the tail light and across the line.
I'm wondering if that one wobble enough to knock him out of the top 4. That's the only thing I'm questioning now. This year, he said he's using this year as a warm-up for next year. Right here in front of 50,000 people, Wiecek's going to want to win this one, and here we go.
It certainly is, Dave. He's going to want to be in the big show this evening in front of his home crowd. And here he goes, nice initiation, fires it into Zemski, gets onto the wall as well, but there's a little bit of separation, and now it's to shallow up the angle. He doesn't want to let Peter get away too far as Wiecek fires that car in across. Nice transition on the handbrake, gets it in. Oh, a little contact from Zemski, but Wiecek deals with it, and it upsets the line a little bit in the outside zone. A little push onto the rear wheel. Now they fire through the middle. Zemski goes for that transition back, try not to make contact once again. And Peter, as he gets into the second to last outside zone, now starts to follow him around, now starts to mirror the angle, mirror the line as they go across the line.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to say, Zemski will be in the lead position in the S14. Wiecek will be in the chase position. Wiecek half the job done, but half is not good enough to get the result. He's got to go close, and he's got to be careful here as he fires in on his Polish compatriot. Here we go into that first corner. Look at that. Peter Wiecek up onto the door. Zemski on a good line, not a lot of angle. Oh, Wiecek almost squeezes himself into trouble and somehow gets away with it and gets back up onto the door of Zemski as he's right there with him. Zemski wobbling in the outer zone a little bit there as Wiecek gets up onto the door, firing flames from the rear of that S14 as they transition through the track. Now Wiecek's got to make the dive, and he does, and he gets up onto the door. And this is where he's going to force the issue with Zemski with a wild wobble into that zone as well. And Peter Wiecek dealing with it, and look at that, running the wall from Zemski at the end. That was a wild one.
It certainly was, Dave. A lot of mistakes though in that lead line.
In a position where they are going to know that a simple, safe run is not going to do any harm here. It's got to be exceptional. Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Through they go. They get the signal for Starline Marshall Martin. And Shanahan now looks down the side of that Super. Oh, he fires big angle at it, but it was a weird initiation from Wiecek as they now come through the middle of the circuit. Shanahan now looks to go for the dive and leaves him some room, and now starts to apply the pressure. Look at that big surge forward from Jack Shanahan on to the side of that A90 Supra. They fire through the middle of the circuit. Now Shanahan's driving aggressive. Oh, and a big flick and a mistake from Peter as they fire into that second to last outside zone. Shanahan goes for the door. Both guys into the wall and into each other as they cross the line.
Oh, still in the balance, but there's definitely no clean lead and chase there. Let's see what happens when we turn him around. This time it's Jack Shannon to lead in Peter Wiecek, and Wiecek's going to have to really be on it here.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's already aggressive. He's very aggressive. Oh, wow, he slots it in there into the pocket. That was beautiful from the Polishman as they fire through. Look at this. Onto the back bumper he goes. Shanahan fires. They look for outside zone 4, and there is no shaking. That Super is glued to the door of the GT86. This is unbelievable from the Polishman right now. They are holding on. Shanahan is being bullied right here in Poland, and there is no way that Wiecek is going to go down in his home ground. And look at this, door to door, wheel to wheel, one more outside zone. Oh wow,
that is an unbelievable chase run from Peter Wiecek. He knew going against the best of the best, and let's see what happens. Wiecek's taken down one Shannon tonight. Can he take down another?
Well, he's going to try to, Dave, that's for sure, and I'm not sure that Connor's going to let him get away with it too easy. Look at the initiation from both of them, and absolutely beautiful from Shanahan as he mirrors the initiation and mirrors the angle. But now Wiecek starts to pull away. The Polishman wants it in front of his home crowd. They flick through. Shanahan goes for a brave dive, tags Wiecek, puts him offline, and fighting is unbelievable. Oh, he tags him again. This is a scuffle on circuit right now as they fire through the middle of the track. Connor Shanahan goes for the wheel once again. He's on the back end. He's bullying Peter Wiecek around the circuit as they go into this last outside zone. Shanahan on the inside as he goes for the front wheel.
Oh. Like that to me against Conor Shannon. Second half of this battle, top 4 space up for grabs. Poland versus Ireland, ex-champion versus ex-champion. Wiecek chase it in Shanahan.
Yeah, look at this, goes for the inside. He's not going to make contact though. Oh, and he shallows up the angle, and Conor waits to get on the throttle. Now they start to get into it. Now Wiecek finds the side of that GT86. They fire through, and it's nice and close to the wall. Look at Wiecek like a cat with a mouse, playing with Conor Shanahan at the moment. Gives him that room to manoeuvre. Now makes a dive in outside zone 4. Now starts to apply the pressure, pushing Shanahan round. They look for this little touch and go in the middle of the circuit. They flick it back. Oh, look at Wiecek. Makes a small error though, goes for the big angle. It doesn't pay off. He has to get himself back into it once again. As Wiecek goes for it this time now, looks for the front wheel. Onto the door he goes, across the line. Oh.
I gotta say, two of the best in the world are about to go head-to-head again for the biggest prize in the game. Here we go.
Well, this time, will they keep it clean, or will it be another fist fight on circuit? It looks clean so far. Wiecek fires it in nice and deep into the outside zone. Shanahan doesn't look like he's got the proximity this time. No shots at the side of that Supra, but now he comes in. Now he takes a shot at the side of the Supra as Conor Shanahan goes for it. Wiecek wanders in and out of the outside zone, but he gets himself back into it, back into the groove as he flicks it a long arc, looking for that second to last outside zone. Shanahan stays with him, but there's no hits to the side this time, as Shanahan wants a little piece of the cake, but he doesn't seem to get there this time.
Well, that's much cleaner lead and chase. Only one bump, only one crash that time, as opposed to 4 or 5. You can see that's what's happening. Very clever, Ian. Not all the time, but on that particular occasion. Here we go, second half of the battle. Wiecek starting to bring the heat as he fires in on Shanahan. A spot in the top 4 up for grabs. And look at Piotr Wiecek. Pinpoint perfect, but a little touch on the door of Conor Shanahan. Now we're starting to see the aggression from Piotr Wiecek as he transitions through, absolutely on the edge, the door and on the wheel. This is what it's all about. Shanahan hits the wall. Wiecek hits Shanahan. It's tit for tat as we come through the center of the section. Wiecek now makes a mistake as they come through. This is absolutely knife-edge drifting as we take it into the last corner, and they are all over each other across the line. Wow! If you win this battle, guaranteed first or second. Here we go. McKeever revs it up, comes off the clutch. Wiecek's with him. This one is going to be fireworks as the Irishman leads in Wiecek into the first corner.
Yeah, look at this. Wiecek does that signature move, that little dive down the inside onto the wall. They go into the pocket, but now McKeever starts to drive away. Looks like he has a little bit of pace dialed into this car. Oh, a little wobble for Wiecek as he avoids the wall. Now that signature dive once again into outside zone 4. He's glued to the side of Dwayne McKeever, and McKeever keeps it clean and off the wall as they fire through. They look for that touch and go, and they nail it. No mistake this time for Wiecek. Super close, absolutely glued. A little tag onto the door, tag onto the wall for McKeever. They both get into the final outside zone, wheel to wheel across the line.
I hope you guys at home are enjoying this just as much as we are, because this is what it's all about. Wiecek in the lead. McKeever's car barely held together with hopes and dreams as they come down the straight. McKeever goes for the big dive and makes it. Onto the door goes Dwayne McKeever. Wiecek goes to the wall, and here we go. Now the fight's on as McKeever gets into the pocket. Wiecek up to the wall, and a transition on the wall. McKeever and Wiecek perfect so far. McKeever fires in, big angle from Wiecek, but somehow McKeever stays in it and on the door, and this is as close as it's going to get as they transition back. One more switch and both make it through unscathed as they go back to the wall. Wiecek perfect in the lead. McKeever up onto the door, and this one is as close as it gets for a spot in the final. Take a bow, Piotr Wiecek and Dwayne McKeever, because that is how it's done. So let's see what happens as they come off the line for a third step on the podium. Wiecek's off like a rocket.
Yeah, he's not messing around, Dave. He would have turned that car up to 11 once again. Now he fires through, but look at this from LZ. LZ's not messing around. Oh, gets a little close, has to back out of it. As Wiecek now goes for it, looks for that inside zone, and he nails it as he fires through bumper to bumper as they transition into this outside zone 4. And look at Adam LZ. Oh, contact. Adam LZ gets a little punch in the face from the back end of that Supra, gets himself back into it as Wiecek now fires through on that last transition, looks for this second to last outside zone. LZ gets himself back into the mix, back onto the side of that Supra, glues it to the door and across the line.
I think this one's going to be a little bit, you're going to see this on the replay, just from initial watching, because of course you're talking easy.
I'm talking about...
Anyway, we're in the second half, here we go. LZ in the lead position, it is Piotr Wiecek in the chase position. Here comes a Piotr Wiecek, absolutely has to do or die special now.
Yeah, and we know he's got that chase absolutely dialed in, and look at this,
God.
Already he's on the door, and this is no messing around for the Polishman right now as they fire through, absolutely textbook on that inside zone. They get into this long outside zone, and they tussle once again, wheels clatter against each other, and they hustle and bustle through the middle of the circuit. Adam LZ trying to take it to the Polishman right now as they fire through, more contact once again as Wiecek brings the fight to the American and bullies him across the line.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wiecek absolutely bullies LZ around the track. He must have hit him 25 times in that run.
Easily.